welcome. First of all, first thing I want to do today is I want to let my friend Tara, client, helper, we've known each other, worked together for what? Quite a while off and on, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you can introduce yourself any way you wish to, first name, no last name, whatever. But she's my demo helper because I need somebody to demonstrate what I'm going to ask you guys to do. So thank you, thank you. This is Sharon Doerr, Doorway to Hope, and Doorway to Magic, Muscle Testing Mastery, and a few other things, but we'll have links to all of that down below. So today, my goal is, I'll introduce myself briefly, and then we'll get on with it. So I'm a spiritual intuitive who many years ago was writing down a Bible study program, and I started writing words that were way too smart for me, and I learned that my creator writes letters back to me. And so writing and speaking to my creator is just as commonplace as speaking to Tara, and other people can do it too. Sometime we will work on that. But my gifting is really to see past the outward reality of your life, my life, to the core issues, but we don't see our own very well, that keep us stuck in negative patterns. And before we get any further, I got a little bit of housekeeping. I call it housekeeping. There's a whole big difference between doing and knowing how to do. We can know how to do math problems. We can know how to do it, but until we sit down with the spreadsheet and the pen in front of us and actually do it, there's no power. So today we want you to know that you know that you know. And so that's why I have Tara here to introduce a couple methods of twist testing and flex testing. In case you're not familiar with, you may all be familiar with the sway test. The sway test is simply yes, no, your body sways forward and back. And I'm going to do a little plug for sway testing. Don't ever, Tara, ever let anyone make you feel foolish that you say, I only sway test. I know you do more than that. But the more the muscles use, the louder the voice, the more accurate it is. So people say, well, I can only sway test. And while I'm at it, I might just as well say, don't do this one. We won't even go into the why, but just don't do this. And there's no muscles involved, and your head can run you as many circles as you can make with your finger. Sway test is far more accurate. But that's a yes, no. For today, every time I ask Sarah to test, I want you guys to put it on pause and do exactly the same test. And I want you to go further, have a notebook there, and write down. My arm went to the refrigerator, went to the door jamb. I went from my knees to my shins, because very seriously, if this is something that's new and it seems like this is too crazy to work, our head will take over. And I literally had a lady I was working with, and I asked her to do an arm test. The standard will have that this was me now and this is me before. And this lady said, this was me now. And her arm went out about this far. And I says, and we did the exercise and the clearing. I says, I'm just curious. Let's do another. And her arm went straight up to the ceiling. And I'm saying, oh my gosh, what a release. My arm didn't move. She honestly did not realize her head had her so blinded that she didn't know that arm, when I replayed it to her, she didn't think that her arm had moved at all. So unless we take notes to look back and say, well, my arm went I went from my knees to my shins, or I just touched the floor. For head people, there's a big head-heart disconnection, and I don't have time to reset all of those, but if that happens, take notes. So we are going to let you demonstrate a couple things before we start, okay?
Yeah.
First of all, the easiest one, guys, whether you're sitting down, whether you're standing up, whether you're anywhere at all, the arm test works. And so the arm, you're just going to focus on one arm, raise your arm or pretend to, and we're going to say, this was me, this is me now. And Tara just raised one arm, and this is me now. Think of a negative issue for the demonstration. Something that's negative. This is me now.
This is me now.
And just raise it And see, that's it. It don't go any higher, does it?
No.
No. Now take your arm down and say, this is me thinking of nothing, and raise your arm.
This is me thinking nothing.
Okay. Now we're going to let it down again. Thank you. Your body's talking. Think of something happy, or we're going to cancel, clear, delete, and just dissolve that issue you talked about. We're sending the golden light and sending blessings and love and truth and awareness to that issue. And say, body, this is me now.
Me now.
You couldn't make that happen, could you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, that's the arm test. Now, there is a twist test. There's the same thing. Many people, I would prefer you're using bigger muscles. The twist test, I know you're aware of it, but I'm going to explain it. Just raise both arms out, make yourself into a letter T, look down your shoulder, one arm, right down your middle finger is your pointer finger. You do these slowly. Don't go boom, boom. No. And just say, this was me before, and twist. And notice, keep looking down your shoulder and your finger. Don't look at me. Look down your wrist, please. And
This is
twist
me.
to the rear and say, this is me now. And just note where that finger went. And come back. And you would say, this is me after. And we're going to pretend we worked on an issue. And it moves further. And again, you could not have made your body twist any farther the first time, could you? Just do. Now, the same thing works for a toe touch. You can go down and you can stand up and you can say, this is me now. And we do a clearing and I say, come back and this is me before. Or we go to the end of the issue and we say, this was me before we did, this is me after. But that's just, thank you. That's why I needed you. I need someone like you. I need you to be willing to show this and share with people. So whenever I say it's time to test, guys, you copycat and do your own test and make your own notes, because it's the doing is where the power is. So thank you. We get all of that out of the way. Now, I have a question for you, Tara.
Okay.
What is the least powerful tool that we humans use to communicate? Would it be words, thoughts, or feelings?
The least powerful?
The least powerful. Words, thoughts, or feelings? Which one?
Words.
Words. When I first learned that, I said, what? You and me talking right now, that's the least powerful method of communicating. The thoughts are next, and the thoughts in looking at somebody, looking them in the eye and sharing. Somehow when we look in the eye, we have a better connection to the heart and the thoughts in the heart. But the powerful one is the feelings. So let's do 3, since you're standing in such a pretty position, let's just say, this is me speaking words, and do an arm test just because it's the easiest. This is me speaking words.
Speaking words.
This is me sharing my thoughts, looking them in the face, sharing my thoughts with my words.
This is me sharing my thoughts with my words.
A little higher, right?
A little higher.
This is me tapping into how those words and feelings made me feel happy, sad, joyful, tapping into the feelings of those words and thoughts. Do another one.
Tapping into the thoughts and feelings of how those words make.
Feelings. I let my heart feel angry or mad or happy. See the difference? The feelings are where the power are. The feelings are the reset button. So we've covered the basic instructions. Thank you. Now we can get on with the show. Thank you guys for being patient. Don't give up on it. I got laid into this 50 years ago. So I've done this. I actually have clients in over 80 nations. So for the people that may watch this on YouTube at some point, stay with us. Now, if I were to tell you that there's a very simple, very easy to master habit that all people, all cultures, all time frames, all nations have used to release blessing into their lives. And it's so easy. It takes only minutes of the day. And if you do it on a daily basis for a minimum of 6 weeks, it will transform negatives into your life into positives. And it does it so powerfully that it's been called, earned the nickname, the magic. Tara, would you be willing to go on a 6-week journey to make this new habit part of your life?
Absolutely.
Let's do another test, because testing of the body is far more than the words. This is me now. I don't care what test you choose. This is me now. This would be me after knowing how to do it.
It would be me after knowing how to do it.
This is me if I did it for 6 weeks.
This is me if I did the course for 6 weeks.
This would be my family, those in my life. If I them now and them 6 weeks later with me doing the work. This is me now, or this is them now.
Them now.
And this would be them 6 weeks later if I
This would
did
be
the work.
later.
Okay, and I'll explain how that works. Which gives the most light bulb, the most power, night light or 100-watt bulb?
Oh, 100-watt bulb.
So as you go from night light to 100-watt bulb, your light, your energy taps into and lightens and surrounds their issues with light. That's what praying for others does. Pray for one another. We don't need permission to just pray and ask God's blessings. As long as we're asking God, the creator, whatever term you use for creator, to just bless those in need with light, with love, with truth, with awareness. That's exactly our mandate from the creator for others to become the light bulb to share. And Harry's getting a further blessing here today that she didn't know she was going to get. You see, it's what flows through us, is what sticks to us. And she's letting this energy, this help flow to me, flow through her, and it's returning back to her. So now let's get on with, I want to tell you a little bit more of what we're going to cover over the next 6 weeks. First of all is today, just the basic, simplest kindergarten tools, how to hold the pen and pencil and that they write and they can work. And then next week, week 2, we're just going to add a little reminder component that we add to this protocol, kind of like, okay, thank you, God, for the picture. You got a book, you got a pencil, you got a book, and you got a pen. You lay them there and you got paper. But until you put that pen in your hand and learn how to use penmanship, don't do much good. And so it's just a tool that you pick up the pen so you can start writing with it. Week 3, we're going to start focusing and using this. We're going to use it on relationship issues. And week 4, we're going to focus how to use these tools for health challenges. Use 5 is going to be focusing on money, all the challenges that go with money. Week 6, we're going to refine all that we've learned, and we'll amp up the power, add a few more little techniques, and then we're also going to test about the benefits moving further and taking this to the next step, because there's another full 6 months. This is just the introductory part of it. The real course starts after we got this much mastered. Okay, let's get started. And yes, Tara is already becoming a brighter light. Now I got another question for you, Tara. What's the most powerful energy we humans can tap into? Love or gratitude or something else?
Gratitude.
By far. The heart math people, folks, we say love is 500 or above. There's even websites of that. Love is the frequency of 500. Gratitude has been measured 600, even 700, because it's much easier to say thank you than it is to say I love you. And we have to learn. You don't just, none of us, they say love at first sight, but we don't just see something or someone and just boom, oh, we love it. No, we have to learn that their attitude, their helpfulness, their wisdom, their consideration, we get to appreciate it, and then we learn to love them. And so we have gratitude first, and it's so much easier. Now, on the opposite, what are the most negative emotions and frequencies that we humans can unleash into our lives? What would you say they might be?
Fear, shame,
Guilt, bitterness, resentment.
yeah, those
The
types
bitter
of things.
ones are even worse than the fear and the shame. Well, shame is bitter. But those things are down, they start at a frequency of 20. Shame. I'm so ashamed of myself, I don't even deserve to live. It's a 20. Gratitude 600, 700. Not even, don't even get near turning the switch on the night light bulb with those type. And if we focus and if we recount every time I replay negative events in my life and share them with somebody else, first of all, I have caused them to form judgments against somebody because I've taken on their vows and judgments and their resentment. And second, it was not my responsibility. I take it to the person themselves, not to share it with someone else, because we don't need to do that. Okay, next question. What is the most powerful way? What is absolutely required, essential to bring changes? Is it going to a book, to head knowledge, and learning more, taking more supplements? Are they belief resets, energy resets? What would they be?
Well, I would go with the belief in energy.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you a little story about that I share. You probably all heard it till you're sick of it, but I try to keep it brief. Many, many, many years ago, my rather strong-willed oldest daughter, that's putting it mildly, comes home from school and the bicycle slams on the ground outside the door, and the door slams and she stomps in, and you could see the steam blowing from her ears and her mouth and her nose and everywhere else. And I said, Becky, what is the matter? Well, Mrs. So-and-so is so stupid. Becky's in the first grade. The teacher, I'll admit, is a very strict elderly German lady who loves red ink pens and pencils. But still, my mother was a teacher all her life, and I grew up hearing she was the best teacher in Northeast Nebraska. You're Mrs. Rasmussen's daughter? Oh, she's the best teacher we ever had. We don't talk about teachers like that. And I said, well, Vicki, why? Well, she says 2 + 2 is 4, and I know it's 5. She's so stupid. Vicki, I don't know how you're doing that because I know it's 5. Lay a 4 pennies out and have her count them. I don't know how I got it here because it's 5. Day after day, she'd come home from school, look me in the eye, slap that math paper on the table with a red circle around every addition problem there was that had a 2 + 2 in any way. A couple weeks later, I make the bed. She said, bump bed, and I raised the mattress up. Underneath the mattress are the papers where she did it right and got the right answers, but she was too stubborn to let me know any other thing. Now, did she not have to change her belief system before she could get the correct answer?
Absolutely.
And that is exactly how difficult it is for us humans. And we can get some of the silliest beliefs that other people see. And I'm going to share one other one, and it is just absolutely silly, but they don't see it silly. You see, we need an outside light bulb to see our own heart. It says that scriptures say we do not see ourselves. The heart above all can be deceitful, but the head really is more than the heart. But anyway, I have a dear friend who somewhere, or he'll be sitting there eating a meal or visiting, reaches up, takes his glasses off, puts them on the table, and heads to the bathroom. One day I was so curious, I says, can you tell me something? Why do you have to take your glasses off when you need to go to the restroom? I don't know, I've done all my life. I said, well, what do glasses on your head have to do with the rest of your anatomy? And then they just get dirty and they fall on the floor and they get scratched. That's the way I've always done it. Last night, still, glasses go off his head, and they did fall on the floor. He goes back in the bathroom looking for glasses. But when we get a belief, it's pretty hard, even a simple one, to reset. So we give God permission to replace our stupidness, our stupid thinking with his truth. And we will go into that in lesson 2. And there's one other thing that's a quotation, lots of quotations I'm going to share, but anybody can make something simple. And if you're more comfortable sitting down, you may, or if you like to stand up, you may. I want you to be comfortable here. So however it works for you, but anybody can make something complicated. It takes genius to keep it simple. So I'm going to do my very, very best to keep this simple. And if I'm gonna build a foundation that I want you guys to live and will change your life and be lasting, we gotta have it built on a foundation, believe me. And so I'm going to share some quotations. All nations, all time frames, all cultures, everyone, everywhere in the scriptures that says, whoever has will be given more. And he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. That's puzzled people and been such a confusing thing, as many things in the scriptures are. But if we add just one 9-letter word that makes sense, whoever has gratitude, the highest frequency in the world, will be given more and will have an abundance. Whoever does not have gratitude, even what you have, will be taken from him. And all cultures, all times, Muhammad said, having gratitude for the abundance you do have is the best insurance that abundance will continue. Buddha, you have no cause for anything but gratitude and joy. Lao Tzu, if you'd rejoice in the way things are, the whole world belongs to you. Krishna, I accept all, that means negative and positive, I'm offered with joy. King David, give thanks to the whole world, everything between the heavens and the earth. Jesus gave thanks before he performed miracles. And he also taught it this way, give, and it will be given unto you. The Australian Aborigines, the African Maasai, the Eskimo, the Maori, all had prayers similar to this one by chiefs that comes of the American Indians. When you arise in the morning, give thanks for the morning light, for your life, your strength. Give thanks for your food, the joy of living. If you see no reason to give thanks, the fault lies with yourself. Now we come to modern day, Norman Vincent Peale, the power of positive thinking. And the thinking, yes, is certainly better positive than negative. Thinking goes beyond that to feeling, but he was on the right track. Merlin Carothers, my aunt introduced me to him 50-some years ago at the most difficult time of my life. And she says, Sharon, it seems really strange to teach you to say praise right in the middle of this, but it's the only power that's out there. I've met him in person and been part of his group for years. He's no longer here, but his wife's still alive. The Prison to Praise organization is still in effect. He had 10 bestsellers going all at once. Then we come along to the scientific group. Isaac Newton's universal law says every action has equal and opposite reaction. So that means when you give, you have to receive. So, sorry, I'm going to stop the screen share. We have built the foundation. Now we can get on with the lessons. So thank you. And this works for everybody in ways that are totally amazing. We're going to back the clock up a little bit, pretend this is the first time I've asked this. If I ask you, can you physically change the shape of your body? Would your answer be yes or no?
My answer would be no.
Would you like to do a little demonstration?
Absolutely.
Want you, and I'm looking at the camera, so tell me if this comes across to you. Can you
Okay.
see that my hand joints and finger joints are absolutely even, that my joints are together, my fingertips are together?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have you do the same thing. Now, I'll agree, folks, right now. Can you also see that my two little fingers, these two, are shorter than the other two?
Mm-hmm.
Got them in a saw. They are legitimately shorter, okay? So I'm gonna take the hand with the short fingers and the funny cut off fingers, because I sliced them. I'm going to say, hand, you're gonna do it too, go bigger. Take one hand, hand,
Grow bigger.
look at those fingers, focus on those fingers, focus on your palm, hand, grow bigger, palm, grow wider, bigger. Fingers, grow longer. Fingers, grow,
Longer.
fingers,
Grow longer.
grow bigger.
Fingers grow longer. Hand bigger. Fingers grow
Stay for
longer.
about 10 seconds and just put all your energy on that.
Fingers grow longer.
And I want everybody out there doing this. Stop and do this. Doing is more powerful than watching or knowing. Fingers crossed. Because the man who taught this was Jack Canfield, and a whole audience and hundreds of people. We're doing it together. Now, I'm gonna put my hands back together, and I have my joints. I don't know if you can see them the way I've got them on the camera, but do you see that?
Yes.
Do you see that these
Mine.
fingers down here now are the short fingers are even a hair longer? These
Mine
two
are.
of mine that got chopped off, can you see in the camera that those are the
Yeah.
longer fingers? Yes, isn't that amazing? We can do that. If we have the power to do that, that's kind of a mind boggler. Now, we've got to say, go back to normal, go back to normal. We don't want to leave you imbalanced.
We'll go back to normal, go back to normal.
And put them back together and see what
Okay.
happens. Are they the same length?
They are.
And
They're
mine,
back.
and now those fingers are shorter again.
Right.
And a totally different teacher than this. One of my teachers many years ago was aware of this, and she shared the story. Just felt she led to share it. That in high school, she had big feet, abnormally big feet for her size 10.5 shoe for a girl. And they poked fun at the girl with the big feet. Somewhere she heard about this, and so she started talking to her feet. And honestly, truly, she held up her shoe and showed us. As an adult, she wears a size 7.5 shoe.
Wow.
Yes,
That's not a lot.
that is a lot. So, yes, we can do things that are totally unbelief, but first we have to change our belief system. So we can change, if we can change the size of our fingers, we can also focus on changing strength, endurance, flexibility, and when we're more flexible, we're healthier, right? Happier. When we can lift more weights, we're stronger. If you had somebody, some of you people, if you had somebody there to pull on your arm, do a Dr. Brad body code type of chiropractic, applied kinesiology, this is me now, this is me, yeah, we're strong. Two people is wonderful. I only have one helper. So we're doing it this way. So anyway, right now, not only can these close until it's us, I just had her ask that this is my husband, this is my family, this is my daughter, this is my boss, my coworker, this is my block. When I send those type of frequencies, the high frequencies to them, they get the benefit too. And there's 4 steps of it that I'm going to throw in here now. We're going to send first of all, we're going to replay this, and I want you to think of somebody that you're going to complain about. I don't care who it is, but they do something really stupid, foolish, or negative, or causes you unhappiness. Okay?
Okay.
Now you can do whatever type of a test you wish. This is their energy, and you can say, I am, and if you had a group here, you would have their back to you, and you could literally, the man who demonstrated it had somebody stand in front of the audience, and he stood with his hand behind her back, and he had her back and explained it, then called her out. He says, when I stand with my hand like this, with my thumb pointed up, he said, I want you guys to send happy energy to the lady on the stage. He says, send happy, she's beautiful, she's intelligent, she's thoughtful, good energy. When I sit down, she's stupid, she's dumb, negatives. And he's standing there pulling on her arm. And when we're sending happy energy, her arm is strong. When they send negative energy, she couldn't hold that arm for nothing. Our energy does affect others. I'm sure you've been somewhere where you can just see across the room the look that mom would give you was far more powerful than the words, right?
Oh, definitely.
The look could just boom you down, that energy. Yes. So anyway, I want you to think of something, and we're going to do a test. This is a negative test. This is kind of a repeat, and you guys out in the audience, if you're not doing it, you're not taking advantage of it. It means you really don't want change. You'd rather just stay in your little pity party, but you don't have to. So cancel right now, take authority over anybody that's having doubts or that spirit of victimization, any negative spirits, any negative energy, we cancel, clear, delete all disharmony, dis-ease, disunity. I'm going to replace it with go to the highest universal energy source, which is the creator, not a book, not a teaching, not a supplement. Creator God. Banish, we now take the authority you've given us as your children, the spirit, banish the spirit of disease from all levels, of all existence, mental, emotional, physical, financial. We deactivate the life force of these diseases, we scramble the frequencies of them, and we adjust them to the ideal body frequency. Thank you, thank you. And now we are going to let you know that this happened. We're going to go back in time and say this was the year whoever by proxy. This was us before that. Sharon just did that quick. And what is or what is this? This is them now.
This is them now.
We're going to add one more component to it, which is what we're going to be doing. And you may let your arms down where you just take a moment and imagine the golden light of blessings. We're going to bless them with the golden light of the Creator's love and light. And now do another test.
Way over there.
We're going to go still further. And we're going to add to that light. We're going to be sure that we've turned on, added the light switches of love, joy, health, and truth to that light. That we're just blessing your love with light, joy, health, truth, and awareness. Twist. Are they?
Very far.
And we are going to add that we want something for them to be good news to happen to them, and something for them to be happy and to celebrate today. And do another one.
All the way to the other door.
Wouldn't it be a lot easier to work with a co-worker that's driving you nuts that's now happy and of the power? So
Yay.
We've covered the foundation, we've covered the before and after. Now, just to the assignment of what it is. Do you have any idea that 6 words could do that? 6 words. And you know what those 6 words are? Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's something about repeating something 3 times. 3 is a powerful word in a number of people's world. I won't go into the reasons right now, but the first thing in the morning as she comes to said, open your eyes, say thank you, or even before you open your eyes, but thank you. If you got something to be thankful for and you look up at the ceiling and it says, oh, it's raining out, but I've got a dry ceiling with no leaks, thank you, you're going to not only say the words, but feel the feelings, okay? And you just turned on the power. It's going to bring blessings to your day. And so if you can't think of anything, thank you, then you think of a time when there was something. So we're going to do an imaginary test. And with the imagination, we can do all sorts of things. So today you woke up and whatever's going on in your world is really lots of negatives. And you woke up kind of fussed and so on. And you just can't think of your back hurts or this hurts and whatever, you know that there's a challenge out there, you got to balance the checkbook, there's not enough to go around. How the heck am I going to say thank you? But the answer is you go back and you think of something in the past that you were thankful for. Whether it was a teddy bear when you were a kid, a birthday present, whether it was your favorite food a week ago or whatever. And I want you to do an arm test. This is me just waking up being miserable.
This is me just waking up being miserable.
This is me when I focus on something at some point that I was able to say thank you for.
This is me focusing on something at some point I was able to be thankful for.
Better?
Better.
Now, you're going to really go back to that issue and really feel what it felt like when you were happy about that. whatever it may be. And tap into how joyful, how important you felt, how worthwhile, how worthy you felt, if you got a compliment or they did something that was considerate or something to let you know that they noticed. And do another test. Look at the difference. Isn't that a better way to start your day? Something as simple as thank you, thank you, thank you. So there's no excuses to say it was too bad to find something to say thank you and to feel the gratitude. I mean, it's much better feeling nice and warm under the covers than to have wet rain dropping down on you if you ever camped out in a tent or a camper and gotten wet, right?
Right.
So, assignment, first thing in the morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're going to have paper, pencil somewhere close to you, or the very first thing as soon as you get past the bathroom, get to a table, a place to write, and you're going to write 3 thank yous. I am so thankful for, because, and feel it. And handwrite, even with a pencil, you guys, we'll do that here for the class too. I don't understand this, folks. I don't, but the first time I heard it, they said, don't, you know, not much power in typing about. We aren't made to push buttons, but our hands and our arms and our muscles are all connected to our heart, which is connected to the Creator. And so we write 3 things. I am so thankful and grateful for, because. Stop a second or two and let the because feeling set in. And when I have you, I'm doing lots of tests, and all of you guys out there go along with it, because I want your body to be the boss. I don't want you just watching this and saying, well, it worked for her. That's like going to school and sitting like my adopted son was, the stupid teacher. She teaches stuff so stupid, I can learn more. He literally did. Came home and he says, I can learn more about sitting in my chair, turning the back to the wall than watching her mouth flap. He didn't have a very good opinion of women, but his mother was, he was the most abused that had ever come through the adoption agency. And his mother was a raving alcoholic who was very, very abusive when she was drunk. So he didn't believe in women, women adoptive mothers, women teachers, women anybody.
Right.
But anyway, when we do this, when we really get in and do it and say, okay, whether I believe it or not, I'm willing to take a chance on it because I'm going to learn how to do this. Simple enough, it can't hurt. Can't hurt to say thank you, thank you, thank you, can it?
Oh, no.
Can't hurt to get your pencil out and write a statement. I am so thankful and grateful for. Can't hurt. So I know we're on safe grounds. But when we write with a pencil, test, I type my statements up on a computer. Let's do a test.
Type my statements out on the computer.
I'm going to get a pen out and write them with a pen.
Gotta get a pen out and write them with a pen.
I'm going to go get a pencil and write them with pencil.
Gotta get a pencil and write them with pencil.
I don't understand that, but I just know it works. It's more powerful and we're more tapped in, more creative. People that really have big projects have learned if they sit at the table and do their basic drawings, their blueprints, their basic ABC points they need to share with a pencil, there's just more clarity, more power. It just flows better. So scribble it down. You can always erase it. You're going to write your 3 sentences down. And you're going to say thank you. Now night comes, you're going to take your journal or sit down with it, lay it beside the bed. You're going to read your 3 sentences, and you're going to focus on the happiest one of the 3 or the best thing that happened for the day, and roll over and go to sleep. That is your assignment. Is that something that's simple enough you can do?
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Could you teach it to grandkids or a 3-year-old, or make it be part of their life already?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's just do that. Let's imagine somebody's got a little 3, 4, 5-year-old, or they've got children. And this is their children now, and do a test. And this is their children if they master this simple little thank you exercise.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what it means to our light bulb affects others when we teach this. And so you do this every day, do it every day. And I'm going to make a further request that you check in. I'll put the link down there to go to the Doorway to Magic website or my Facebook page, Doorway to Magic. And my name, Doerr, D-O-E-R-R. I think there's a hyphen in the Doorway to Magic. And we're going to have a special group for all of you that are part of this class to interact with. But thank you, thank you, thank you. And any further comments, any ideas you'd like to share with this group, you got the stage.
Thank you, Sharon.
Think it's worth a try.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
So thank you. I'm excited to see, and I would be love to see what you write on the page. You can go to, you're already a member of the Doorway to, or the muscle testing page, or wherever you can share this, because as you share, it will stick to you. What goes through you sticks to you. What you lock up inside goes nowhere. And invite anybody, everybody, because this one at least is a totally free introductory thing. There will be a charge of some type, simply because people who get something for free do not value it. And when I couldn't figure out why, I'd gone all the way to making everything free, total donation basis, and I wasn't getting the results. And I had to talk with God. I says, God, why? And he says, you're robbing me. Okay. I'm not even charging. He said, it is written, give, and it shall be given unto you. You're robbing them of the ability to share the energy and to give. And if you don't let them give, they can't receive. So we have to have some sort of a fair energy exchange for both of our benefits. I want to keep it so that everybody can participate, and the details for all of that will be down below. 6 weeks. This was week 1. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is Sharon Doerr, Doorway to Hope. Be blessed.
Thank you.